why I like this Belt and Road, because I found that they have a rich heritage, because they are zero is a trade routes. So people located around the road, they are rich. So over the time, they built a lot of the good things. So what I really think is relevant, okay, over this relevant to this civilization is that this one's Uzbekistan. So we know that 1001 night. So it's happened there. This is China, Xi'an. That's the beginning of the zero. Istanbul. So this is I mean to the end part in the Middle East or something like that, of India. So why I in love of the Belt and Road somehow, because it gives me the chance to have tourism. So at least we have a way there to go to tourism. Having said that, this country, when they're presenting this heritage, it does the part, the ironic part is that those countries are not so developed compared to right now the wealthy country. So this is one thing. So it's very sad. At the same time, that this region they have having engaged, I would say engaged, they're in poverty and tension, disaster, because those people they don't have a very nice living environment. So this is the area that you find very fascinating at that time. They're some are really miserable. So we quickly go there. Why we will try to have the revival of the zero concept? Because the people that they suffer here, because I give you a recent photo, in those old days it's similar, they have similar suffering. And the United Nations say that we have to give some thought to help this country from these tensions. What they can do is, they say that, okay, we utilize their very nice heritage to support them for the development. So they come up for the first thought, revival the zero is to develop for the tourism. Since they are poor, but they have very good scenery, they have a lot of tourism spot, let's go there for funds and for tourism. So it is the way that to help the developing country. So that's why that is the time that when I was in in his age, know about the zero, which is 30 years ago. So that was it was my first it fascinates a lot for the zero. So I really want to go to a zero, but I never done it until the Belt and Road initiative is really get announced. I get a job at that time, so I have the income, and then my job is related to that. So I have the time that I travel, start to travel to the zeros. It comes for many years later, but at that time, why I attach to the zeros? It is not because of making money, because over there, for a developing country, it is very difficult to make the money. So it is the area that we spend the money. But those areas to spend money, you spend a lot of money. I have relatively more money, but you're going to enjoy, I mean, their condition anyway. So this time though. But there is someone that he or she must be passionate for the history, culture. Others wouldn't go to that. Many of my friends would like the Sunshine Beach. So we need to think. Those countries are not very, rich, abundant, or very comfortable. So, and now this is the revival of zero by tourism. And later on, by around the year 2000, there's one country called Azerbaijan. They say that, okay, they propose that we will try to connect one transportation corridor between Europe and then the Asia. So this is Azerbaijan. So they said, okay, we will try to go through this Caspian Sea, and from Caspian Sea to Black Sea. So we go through that, we can save the traveling time. Because Azerbaijan, it is a small country, so nobody is going to listen to him. So this zero idea is not really working, because small country can't propose great initiative. So, okay, it doesn't work. So it comes to the United States. Everything will start from the United States, because I'm not saying that it is a good or bad thing, because it is the #1 country in the world. So it has the power to have the great things. So what to do is that, why suddenly the United States going through in this area? It is because of Afghanistan. terrorists, you understand. So at that time, the who's that? Suddenly, terrorist. Who's the guy's name?
Osama bin Laden.
Yeah. So he was he was hidden in the Afghanistan. So so the United States people, U.S. Army attacked this area. So you know, at that time, Afghanistan gets get damaged. But because get damaged, it goes back to so-called Stone Age. So at that time, that's because when you are engaged in the war, you have to have you need to have route of the supply. So that's the first military route, which is built by the United States to attack Afghanistan. So this is the one thing. Okay, the thing is that always in our mind that, okay, in Hong Kong, in my mind that, we thought that why is Afghanistan getting be attacked, okay, by the developed Western country? It is because of the terrorists. In fact, the fact is not only that. One thing that's why Taliban it has so many powers in the Afghanistan, because one thing is that this Afghanistan, it is they have a lot of drug, because those local farmers they're going to plant for the opium. What is I don't know the opiums. So and from the opium and make it into the drug that they can sell to the country, especially to the country here, Russian, and going into the Europe for the drugs. So why is Afghanistan issue is not for terrorists, it is for drugs. So why Taliban has so many supports over this in Afghanistan? Because this area is so poor. So the farmers, the local farmers, they could not make their livings. So what they can do is one force can provide them the income, even though the plantations eating into the drugs. So they do it. As long as they don't take drugs, it's okay. So this is one thing that I learned after I interacted with one Kazakhstan's professor, international relations professor. I said, why you guys are so focused on Afghanistan? It is so poor. What bother you? He said that the issue about Afghanistan is not terrorists, it's drug. So everyone, when I come from this news, that for me it is for me. Some of you maybe also know. For me, it's very striking, because whatever I learned from the Chinese media and Western media, because I also read the BBC, CNN, according to the Western standards, very westernized, and I also read a lot of Chinese reports supposed to show that I have understood China. But this is the part of the fact that I never come across in my life. So it led me to think about that for myself. It happens last year or the year before. What the knowledge, what the understanding of mine I build upon so-called my surrounding the knowledge, it is still limited. We need to go to the different area to learn what happened there, because it's truth. So one thing that I happened remind me a lot, it is I have the time, because of the Belt and Road Initiative, I went to the Iran. So when I go to Iran, at that time I have the cultural shock, because I prepare myself, being a researcher, I get a booklet from the Lonely Planets. See, I'm very internationalized, and I get some books in Chinese and to learn. But however, when I landed in the Iran and then tried to go through the country, I found that both the Chinese books and English book, it doesn't give me the complete picture of Iran. Because Iran is Persians, they are proud of the culture, which I really like it. I think this is a good civilization. So that means that this type of, for me, okay, especially for me coming from a developed city, when we go into the, we are not bothering to look down to a developing country because we think that it is tourism. In fact, actually, at the same time, that when we don't go into the country, that it makes us become a biased person. We are limited ourselves. So the way that it is, the way that for me is also the mind opening, yeah, over the last few years. But anyway, it is also the way I learned from the Kazakhstan's scholar that Afghanistan's issue is drugs. It is not terrorism. So we'll have the military rule. So later on, we'll have the energy zero. How the energy zero come from? Because United States and Russia, they are not very good friends till now. So, but for Russia, how they can be so confident? The thing is that because they have the energy. So how can you go into to give impact to the Russians? As long as the oil price go down, energy price go down, the time is will be very good. So that's why, according to some saying that okay, it's not confirmed by United States that. So United States make the oil price going down, and then the Europeans they could not buy a lot of oil. They will feel they have a challenge to buy the oil, energy from the Russia because they have one Belarus Ukraine to steal their gas. So that's why Russia could not rely on selling their energy going into the Europe. So they want. So after that, 2003, 2008, something like that, they did 2000 something. They decided to sell the oil energy going to the eastern part, which is China. So when Russia here, it can connect to the European part. It can also go to connect to the Asia part. They want to connect that, not by transportation, by energy. So this is the perspective. So another revival of the transportation is some countries decided to have the revival of the transportation zero. The first case we say that it is Azerbaijan. Nobody take care because it's a small country. So when Kazakhstan said, okay, I decide to revival because we are landlocked country. We decided to have become a land connected country. So it goes through from the this way Xinjiang and to the you can go to the Middle East and go into to Russia and to Europe. So Kazakhstan going that. Even the Korean also want to go that. Why Korean want to go that? It is interesting because Korean is here. If Korea they want to ship the item going into the Europe, they need to go through a lot of these different parts. So Koreans say that no, we want to make a breakthrough. Another thing, they want to make the breakthrough. They say, okay, we want to go through this language, so it will save the time. Another agenda behind this railway connection is that the South Korea, they really want to connect the North Korea and South Korea, make Koreans united. So if they want to go through this railway from the South Korea, they need to pass through the North Korean borders and go connected with, to the Europe. It is the approach that the Korean is seeking for their unifications. So they also want to do that. Okay,